Hello everyone, Jules here. Today I'd like to talk about a book that's on the topic of alchemy that has just been published this year. And the name of the book is The Hermetic Marriage of Art and Alchemy by Marlene Bremner. So here is the book, and it's a hardcover book, and it's got a beautiful illustration on the cover by the author, who is also an artist. And it's quite a wonderful book, and it's also a beautiful book. There are some colour plates, colour illustrations inside the book. There's also some great black and white illustrations in here as well of classic alchemical drawings. The subtitle of the book is Imagination, Creativity and the Great Work. So I wanted to get this book because there are not many books about alchemy that are quite well written, and this is very well written and very well researched. It's also a very interesting book. The subject of alchemy is interesting anyway, but there are not very many books that are written about alchemy in relation to art, and I'm particularly interested in the relationship between alchemy and art. So there's even less of those books that are written. So that's another reason why I wanted to get this book. So to talk about what is in this book, I really like, as I was saying, I like the way that it's been written. It's written very well, it's interesting. You can really see the research that has gone into this book, into the writing of this book. There's a great introduction to start with, which is really worth reading. Then it's divided into different parts, and there's appendices at the back. It's divided into two parts. So part one is called Alchemy and Imagination, and the introduction is about the imagination in relation to alchemy. But part one is particularly to do with alchemy and imagination in relationship to art and different art types and art styles. But that's very interesting as well, because I have always seen, for example, chapter 2 is about symbolism, and symbolism as an art style. You can actually see, if you look at symbolist paintings, you can actually see that it does seem to have an alchemical type of basis. So looking at symbolism itself, in all different types of symbolism, that chapter is about dark dreams and the ideals of the other world. Then you have a chapter on Dada, which is another type of art form that actually came just before Surrealism. And the chapter on Dada is cutting to the chance. Then you get Surrealism, which is the automatic solution. And these types of subtitles for the chapters make sense as you read them. Then for part 2, you have the magnum opus, which is to do with the great work of alchemy. So chapter 5 of this is all the chapters continuing. So part 2 of the magnum opus is Chapter 5, Creative Alchemy, Essentials of the Great Work. Then you have got the following chapters are to do with the main 4 stages of alchemy. Now, Carl Jung in particular divided and saw the alchemical work in 4 main stages, and I tend to see it that way now too. But I have done other reviews of alchemy books where they are divided into 7 stages or 8 stages or even 12. This book divides the alchemical stages into the 4 main stages, but then it breaks those stages down further. So I really like that part about this book as well. So the first stage is the darkening or the nigredo, which is putrefaction and the generation of the idea. Then you have albedo, which is purification, and the lunar stone. And I'll just show you, for example, one of the very interesting black and white plates that are in this book. So you can see this is a really, really interesting black and white picture. So it's a great picture. That's just in the inside at the front of the book. So you have albedo, purification, and the lunar stone. Then you get to chapter 8 and you have citrinitis, which is solar inspiration and integration. Then you have rubedo, which is the royal marriage itself and the philosopher's stone. Then you have a conclusive chapter. Then with the appendices, there is some great tables of correspondences in here. I really like the planetary correspondences that are in here, because this book is tied in to the different planetary correspondences for the different stages. Then you have a bibliography at the end. It's a great bibliography, by the way. If people who want to read further and want to read other books about alchemy and related subjects, it's a particularly good bibliography. And that is also tying in with the great amount of research that the author has conducted to write the book. And you have an index at the back. This is a hardcover book, and I don't have many hardcover books, but this one I particularly wanted it because of the topic, because of the way it's been just so well written. And there are other tables in the book as well, for example, that are related to the planets and the planetary qualities and the 4 elements, and even tables to do with the 4 stages. I love the way this book's been written. It's just, it really is, great. The coloured pictures of the artist's work in the middle of the book are also great as well. Really, really beautiful. There's about a dozen drawings in here, a dozen paintings from the artist's work. I really do like this book. I just think it's really worth getting for people who are not only interested in alchemy, but they want to look at alchemy in an esoteric way, but also in regard to inner alchemy and inner work. I think it's great for that, and I just love the way this book is presented. I love the way it's written, the way that information is organised. I think it's one of the best books about alchemy that's been written in recent years, but to have the additional approach of the creative process in regard to alchemy. And there's some suggestions, practical suggestions in here as well, in regard to people who want to experiment a bit with their own art, with their attempts at just creative activity and creative process. So it's really tying in with creative thought and the way that the alchemical processes relate to each other, and the connection between spirit and matter that is related to the creative process and the creative work and creative outcomes. But it is very much about inner work as well. So The Hermetic Marriage of Art and Alchemy by Marlene Bremner. I'll put some details below the video. I think it's a very worthwhile book, and it's one of the best books written on alchemy in recent years. So I'll put some details below the video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.